Hey guys, yeah, today's video is gonna be Rule of Survival Part 2 and a few encounters with Spice. Well, that's one of my bad trips out of my 100 bad trips. Almost every trip is a bad trip. But anyway, let me start by my first encounter. Number one, first encounter with Spice. And Spice, okay, when I first did it, I didn't even know what Spice really was. But now I know what it is. And I'm actually going to break it down for people or for anybody who watched this video that doesn't know what Spice is. Spice isn't one particular substance, it's a variety of substances that's constantly being tweaked under the radar, so the FDA can't really regulate it. They can only, I think it's like an analog act in place. I'm not sure. But anyways, my first encounter with Spice wasn't necessarily bad. And I think the first Spice probably wasn't gonna be, too many fatalities because it wasn't really intended like to. It would. I think more research and stuff was done behind the first Spice than now. They're just tweaking it and they're just like, well, we're just gonna tweak it and sell this and we're just gonna put this out here and put not for human consumption, and then that's gonna, human consumption. Yeah, not for human consumption. If you see that shit, you should never use it. I can't fathom how people take something without knowing a percentage or a dosage. How can your brain, and then while you're under the influence, don't you think about it like more? I, I I tend to overthink things, so I can't do things like even smoking weed. Sometimes I'll be like, damn, I got some strong ass shit. I should never got this. And I have to kind of remind myself because I'm having anxiety that, bro, chill. It's just some weed. Like, you're not gonna die. Still from, and I honestly feel like it may be connected to Spice. It may not be. It may just, be some good shit. But the first blunt, I smoked a whole blunt of Spice the first ever time. I was probably like 14, 13 ish. And I smoked the blunt with somebody, and they was like, oh, it's synthetic weed. Well, that didn't add up until probably like 2 or 3 years later. Then I was like, I figured out, they were having actual fatalities off of it. People were tweaking, people were like wigging the fuck out and doing weird, morbid shit. I don't know, eating dogs. And so I guess this may, okay, this is gonna connect into my second encounter with Spice with my loved one, and we're gonna say his name is Terrence, and he was with his wife Kim. Okay, Terrence pulled up. This is 3 years. Maybe I was probably like 16. Yeah, 3 or 2 years. But Terrence pulled up and he offered to smoke like we always smoke each other out. But this time he's like, oh, I got some loud. It's very rare that he would have loud because he would always be smoking middle class weed, or because we're just, or be for real, people, y'all know y'all be smoking ordinary 10 a G or 5 a G. If you go broke, you gonna go buy some Reggie. So most of the time we'd be okay with Reggie. Like, I'll still smoke some Reggie to this day. I'd rather smoke Reggie over loud because loud give me anxiety. Smoke. So, well, he offered to smoke, and I got in the car because we hotbox, and he passed me the blunt, and I hit it. He's like, oh, hold that shit in. And he's like, this some good loud. Well, I hit this shit probably 2 to 3 times maybe. And so when I hit that shit, my heart started beating fast and it started hurting. and I started feeling like I was gonna die. I dropped the blunt and I got stuck in like my brain went delirious. Like I could not think, I could not process anything. I could not process a sentence. They were talking to me as I dropped the blunt. I was like, I was trying to say something, but it didn't get out all the way. Like I had got that fucked up off them 2 to 3 hits that I could not say anything. And y'all, prior to this, I had taken 2 Tramadols. So I'm thinking to this day, from to that day, that from taking that, it had an interaction. Because Tramadol, spice is already unpredictable. And Tramadol has a long list of shit that you can't add with that shit. Don't add this, don't, you can't add Tramadol and take the antidepressants and shit. And so when I dropped the blunt, and I was like I was kind of wigging the fuck out. Like if they would have recorded me and put this shit on YouTube, I would have been mad as fuck. But they should have recorded me to show me later. But really, they didn't need to because I was never gonna do that shit again. Terrence, he threatened to punch me in the chest because he's like, chill out, because I don't know, I was thinking I was gonna die or some shit. And I only told like my parents this story, and yeah, so the third encounter, because after that encounter I never smoked it. I'm not going to intentionally smoke spice. You're going to have to lace me, and most people aren't going. From that day on, I don't smoke with everybody. Like, I'm not quick to smoke with somebody. And I'm not going to lie, I'll smoke with Terrence again. It's just that I won't be quick to do it. Like, if we do it, it'll be a mutual thing. Like, it'll be, I bring my own smoke, you bring your smoke. Like a match. And from that day that I was laced, I never I couldn't smoke with people like that. Like, I couldn't trust people. And you should always give like 50% of your trust with people after they do stuff like that, because you can't fully trust that person all the way if they gonna do that shit for laughs and giggles and was laughing like a motherfucker when they don't even know what you took before you did it, or you tell them and they still smoke it with you. And now I'm gonna go on my third encounter, which he took me to his wife's people's house, and we were just having like a little get together. She was cooking fried chicken, and we was all matching, and everybody had some type of shit. They brought some type of pill, and I remember, like, at the time I didn't have money, or I didn't really know about anything like that, so I didn't really get into much other stuff. But he had codeine promethazine lean, and so I just sipped like a little bit of it, not really a little bit, because I sipped a little bit at first, but then he tried to negotiate, if I want any more lean, I have to hit the spice blunt. And I was like, this is when he actually told me it was spice, because the first time he laced me, but then come to find out 6 or 7 months later, that's when I found out he laced me, and we was at his wife's house. Probably only 4 people know the story, the 2 people that are in the story, and of course the 2 people that I told, which are my parents. But anyways, he tried to negotiate that, and I was like, no, I'm not trying to smoke no spice. And everyone in the room was trying to get me to smoke it, and it wasn't working, because I'm not going to do something if I don't want to do it. Like, no one can get me to do something. I don't want to fit in. I'd rather stick out. But I'm like thinking like this bitch really try to negotiate with my ass, thinking that that's gonna work. And at the end of the day, I still ended up drinking the lean. Like ended up drinking half of his dirty Sprite, which I'm not too big on lean. I just wanted to do it that day. So the main reason is because I just don't. I don't know. I just don't fuck with lean like that. Pimp C, all these people having seizures and shit all day. I don't want that shit. And I think it's mainly because of the promethazine, because you could take large doses of codeine. And some people don't even know the main reason you're taking the codeine promethazine is because of the codeine. It's not the promethazine. The promethazine is just it's just the antihistamine for the itchiness. So it makes it less itchy, and you could take less. You could take less codeine. Oh, happy birthday, Maria. Now she's 18. But they really tried it that day when they thought that they was gonna try to negotiate. Like, I really didn't give a fuck if I didn't get no fucking lean. But every time he would turn around trying to smoke some damn spice, I would sit that shit. So it added up to half a damn bottle. And I'm not talking about the actual prescription bottle. It was already in the Sprite. So it's lean. It's not the codeine promethazine no more. It's codeine promethazine and Sprite and Jolly Ranchers. And even though that was a bad trip that I had, and at that moment of the second encounter, I had thought that I was gonna be the first person to die off weed and all this. I was having so much anxiety off that shit, and to this day, I don't smoke with people like that. Like I'll smoke with the same people. Like some people, when they start smoking, they turn into smoking hoes. Like they smoke with any damn body. Like I'm not trying to smoke with everybody. You're passing a piece from piece to people's mouths. I'm just gonna get some. I'm gonna get some shit and go. Like I am not trying to smoke with everybody. And I don't see. I think I'm a bit of an introvert, and it probably brings like that aspect of me out. It brings that more out because when I be like in public, I don't like to be really really high. I just like to be buzzed slightly. You know, I don't really like to be stoned, like fucked up, cause I just don't. It just don't look right. It feels like everybody's looking at you, and sometimes I just have to deal with it. Like I be in a public area already, and I be like, damn, I done smoked way too much, and then I'm just walking around, and I forgot what I was looking for, this and that, and I just go through my head thinking. Yeah, but the moral of the story: just don't be smoking with everybody, and don't be smoking spice. Just so y'all know, I don't fuck with that shit. Y'all don't be fucking with that shit. That shit'll fuck your brain up. You're better off taking Xanax and more predictable drugs. You're better off doing meth. You're really like you're better off doing something that you know the effects of it already, and there's plenty of research that says, if you go do smoke meth every day, your teeth is gonna rot and your face is gonna have sores. And I mean, there's research to back that up though. I had to turn off my fan, it was getting cold. But yeah, there's research to back everything up, and you're doing the only thing that you're basically a test subject to research chemicals that's being put out that is just stamped with the no human consumption. And you know damn well you're not supposed to consume that shit, and you consume it anyways. Like I said, if you watch this video, Terrence and Kim, I hope y'all not doing this shit no more, because y'all bitches ain't gonna you gonna make yourself disabled. You gonna need a crazy check. You see motherfuckers in jail. I saw like I'm seeing like, and I don't even see people tweet the fuck out. I see people on that shit, cause that spice shit is around. I'm not fucking around. Anyone that says they smoke that shit, I ain't smoking with them. Cause no, I'm just not. And I surely don't smoke with people who have crushed up a bar and put it inside a blunt. Now, I hope people are smart enough to not do that shit, because I don't know. I've heard people are doing that shit and they were like, oh, you don't want to smoke? I'm like, no, I don't want. I said, I don't smoke no more. I'm lying through my fucking teeth. I smoke like a motherfucking chimney. And I just didn't want to smoke with them after I heard that shit. And that's good. People need to be like that. Because I don't like smoking with everybody. I used to hang out. I was hanging out with this girl named Cindy, and she would hang out with every fucking body. And the reason why you shouldn't hang out with everybody, because you don't know what them people are doing and what they, potentially do, or they could slip some shit in your blunt, your drink. Some shit could absorb quick as shit. Any type of little thing you can make. They show you on the internet how to make chloroform, and you can put that shit on somebody's nose and then they fall the fuck out. People could do these simple little things. Like, what the fuck? And I just don't trust people, and I'm glad that experience happened to me, because it made me open up and realize that even a loved one, could slip up and make a mistake. But I'm pretty sure Terrence and Kim, I don't think they're still smoking spice. It probably got old with them getting really, really high off that shit. They probably thought they was gonna die too one day. And to make matters worse, the night of the third spice encounter, they had that's why I'm glad I drank half the bottle of lean, because Terrence and Kim is a diabetic. That's his wife, of course, and she's a diabetic. And Terrence had took her to the hospital on multiple occasions, and they're sipping lean, and they split a Roxycodone together. Like, what the fuck? And they drove home safely. Thank God, God was with them. He rode with them the whole way, because that's very dangerous. He probably gets home dangerously on a daily basis, and I hope he doesn't, not drinking and driving, or under heavy sedatives, or sleep, that sleep shit, Xanax and all that. But just don't, and y'all don't be fucking putting that shit in the blunt. That shit, you're wasting the weed and the pills and whatever you put in the blunt, because more than likely, people that do that shit, I ain't never met one person that smokes meth that will put that shit in the blunt or has laced me with some shit like that, because trust me, I ask questions quick as fuck when a motherfucker tells me what they do. So I'd be like, you don't be putting that shit in the blunt, do you? Or you don't smoke nothing else. You don't put it with nothing else, do you? Yeah, I ask those questions, and everyone should ask questions. Don't be scared to ask anybody anything. Especially when it's your safety, your money, your time, your anything. Don't be scared to ask anything, because, bitch, I'ma ask you, is this legitimate shit? Whatever it is. But this is what their explanation is for. If I ask them that, if I be like, oh, you don't put nothing, oh no, because it'll burn my shit up. They're more worried about their coke or meth, so they'll be like, nah, it'll burn my coke up. Hell nah, bitch, I'd rather snort it. See, most people that smoke weed and then happen to smoke meth, they're not going to smoke them together, because they're trying to save one or the other. And that's the same case with coke. I think you can't burn, like, it has a certain burning point. You would therefore have to smoke crack and weed. So, and I have met people that have smoked what you would call a primo, and they said that it's pretty much pointless. They said they do coke, they snort it. They said smoking it is pretty much wasting it. And no one is, I don't think most people won't. Maybe a crack, you're more likely to get like laced by, well, a crackhead because they smoke crack, and as to someone that's doing mainly coke and has morals, but that's not to say that later on they won't turn into a crackhead. You just gotta watch for these people, because I don't let a bitch roll my shit without me looking. I'm looking right over your shoulder and I'm breathing over your neck. And I can tell you, it's really not all that. Because if people are really still smoking this shit, that's sad. Because if you've enjoyed the feeling of dying, of death, then that's sad. That's really sad. I hate feeling like I'm just gonna die. I'm taking my last puff and I'm just gonna die. And guys, I'm just gonna talk about maybe experiences on these videos, so the videos won't be so dry, and keep it on a good flow. But yeah, I will never just, I'm not gonna say never, because I might be get laced again if I happen to slip up, but no, I'm not gonna slip up. I don't smoke with everybody, and if I were to get like a blunt or something from somebody and it's pre-rolled, I actually unroll it, and that's a normal thing to me. Like if someone gives me like something, you're always supposed to check it, or before you use it, buy a test kit and test it. And I believe in that type, because you always want to be safe. You don't want to. And even if I were to get a blunt and smoke it from somebody that is pretty, that I know is legit, it's safe, and I do smoke it, I don't like the feeling of not knowing. So that's more worse than actually being laced itself. It's like the feeling of you being laced. Y'all, I'm hiding in these bushes and I made the dumbest decision, but I'm gonna have to let y'all go here. I hope y'all enjoy my video. This is my experience. I have more trips, bad trip stories, good trip stories, no trip stories, and others.